55th Attorney General of Massachusetts, and State Senator Karen Spilka has been named to head the powerful Senate Ways and Means Committee. This and more news still ahead on WGBH's All Things Considered.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Craig Wyndham. The administration says House Speaker John Boehner breached normal diplomatic protocol by inviting Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to speak to a joint session of Congress about Iran next month without first notifying the White House. Secretary of State John Kerry.
We welcome the Prime Minister of Israel to come and speak in America anytime. Obviously, it's a little unusual to learn of an invitation from the Speaker's office.
Speaker Boehner announced the invitation today after President Obama urged lawmakers last night to hold off on imposing more sanctions on Iran while talks regarding that country's nuclear program are ongoing.
In 0.1 mile,
speaking in Idaho
turn
this
right.
hour, reiterating some of the themes of his State of the Union address.
I still believe that as Americans we have more in common than not.
Obama speaking at Boise State University. Federal investigators have not found evidence that would support civil rights charges against the Ferguson,
Police
Missouri
reported
officer
ahead.
who shot and killed an unarmed black man. Authorities would have to prove that Officer Darren Wilson used excessive force and violated Michael Brown's constitutional rights. The New York Times reports the Justice Department is working on a
34.7.
legal memo to close out the case. Was up 9. This is NPR News from Washington.
And good evening from the WGBH Radio Newsroom in Boston. I'm Deb Daigle with the local stories we're following. Maura Healey has been sworn in as the 55th Attorney General of Massachusetts. Healey was sworn in this afternoon during a ceremony at Faneuil Hall. Supreme Judicial Court Chief Justice Ralph Gants administered the oath. The 43-year-old Democrat was the first openly gay candidate elected to statewide office. She succeeds former Attorney General Martha Coakley. In a speech following the swearing-in, Healey promised a first-of-its-kind division focused on protecting young people. And State Senator Karen Spilka has been named to head the powerful Senate Ways and Means Committee, a position that will give the Ashland Democrats significant influence in state budget negotiations in the weeks and months ahead. Senate President Stanley Rosenberg today also named Worcester Democrat Harriet Chandler to serve as Senate Majority Leader, the position Rosenberg held under former Senate President Therese Murray. Spilka succeeds the previous Ways and Means Chair Stephen Brewer, who retired from the Senate. Colleagues of Dr. Michael Davidson, who was killed in a shooting at Brigham and Women's Hospital yesterday, gathered before press to share their memories of the late cardiovascular surgeon today. And one doctor reflected on Davidson's commitment to his career and growing family.
Mike was a magician, because I don't know how he did all that he did in the time allotted.
Davidson died last night after being shot twice by the son of a former patient. 55-year-old Stephen Piscari was discovered fatally shot shortly after from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Meantime, Governor Charlie Baker says the fatal shooting of the doctor should prompt a reconsideration of security measures and procedures. He called the death of the ultimate nightmare for anyone in the healthcare world, and especially people who work in really high-risk fields like cancer and cardiology and emergency medicine. In sports, the Bruins face the Colorado Avalanche tonight in Denver. And the forecast, cloudy tonight, lows in the mid-20s. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny with highs in the mid-30s. And Friday, highs in the mid-30s with plenty of sunshine. Looks like we're slated to get some snow on Saturday, 1 to 3 inches possible. Highs in the mid-30s and dropping into the mid-20s overnight. And Sunday, partly cloudy with highs in the mid-30s.
Exit
I'm
right.
Deb Daigle. For more news, visit WGBHnews.org.
Support for NPR comes from NPR member stations and from CarMax, offering more than 35,000 used cars and trucks, online and in stores from coast to coast. Learn more at CarMax.com. From Epson, with workforce